Fred Richani, TSC, your home for sports news updates, interviews, and everything in between. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reid, they have settled their grievances with the NFL. The key word is settled. What does that mean? That means that likely Colin Kaepernick and or Eric Reid, or both, which is probably the most likely, got paid. They settled. In other words, the NFL probably said, you know what? If we let this drag out, I think we're going to have a lot of stuff come out that we don't want. We'd rather just pay and have this go away. Now, I think the precursor to this was Eric Reid being re-signed by the Carolina Panthers on a 3-year deal, and Colin Kaepernick getting closer and closer to maybe making a comeback. There was a desperate ploy for, I think, press by the AAF, the Alliance of American Football, and some other people that said Colin Kaepernick refuses to play in the AAF, wanted $20 million or more. Okay, what's the problem with that? He's the reason that Nike made a ton of money the last quarter. The whole campaign was built around him, and Nike made stupid money. So this guy's going to go to some bum-ass, trash-ass league that's essentially a minor league and feeder system for the NFL and just go on a discount? Are you kidding me? Who's this guy, Jamarcus Russell, who needs to resuscitate his career? No, he's not. So that I thought was like, okay, that's interesting. You know, it's just randomly floated out there, right? And here we are, Friday, February 15th, the last day of my 20s. And Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid settle, which, you know what? I'm fine with if this means that Colin Kaepernick is eventually going to come back to the NFL. Now, before we get to the main statement here, I think it's important to note that this has never been dragged out as long as it did. And I think it's pathetic. And for people that say, oh, well, you know, you're liberal or this or that. No, stop. Stop. At the end of the day, whether you agree how he protested or not, how he went about his media approach or not, the reality is all the guy was doing was bringing awareness to police brutality and racism. That's it. That's it. Any other narrative is complete bullshit and from people that can't read, can't write, don't bother looking on social media. All these narratives about, oh, he doesn't want to play football. Yet you can just check his trainer's social media and you'll see that the dudes have been training almost every freaking day for a comeback. It's ridiculous. And what's ridiculous, too, is all these people, these grown-ass men and women that are against this and against Colin and against Eric Reid and all this other stuff, right? The reality is, you have to work with people that have different beliefs than you every single day. Okay? I have to work with people with different beliefs every single day. The NBA, you don't think any of these owners voted for Trump? You don't think any of these owners maybe have donated to the GOP at one point in their lives? Come on now. Come on now. They're billionaires. I'm sure they want those tax breaks. Okay? But guess what? I don't see any NBA owners saying, hey, stop speaking out on racism. Stop speaking out on this. Hey, you're doing too much for your own community. No. They stay in their lane. I'm sure there's obviously some concessions behind the scenes. But for the most part, owners stay in their lane and they do their thing. And the NBA today is a beautiful partnership between the players and the owners. Could it be even better? Probably. I'm sure there's some things that us as fans are not privy to. But the NBA is thriving. And yes, while the NFL does huge ratings and is bigger in this country than the NBA, the reality is the NBA and basketball in general has been and will continue to be a global game and is only getting bigger. The athletes in general, I'd say overall, other than Tom Brady and a couple other people, are significantly bigger stars than much of the NFL players. Why is that? Besides the fact that they are not wearing a helmet and you can see their face. Because the NBA understands that it's not just about the brand, okay? It's about the players. Because if you have players who cater to different backgrounds and people from all walks of life and, you know, you showcase these players, okay? You're going to get ratings. You're going to get tickets sold. You're going to get merchandise sold. And it's better for everybody all around. And it's better for these franchises because it drives up their value. NFL, look, they're doing well economically. I can't hate at all. But for all the talk about how, oh, if you sign Colin Kaepernick or Eric Reid or if these players kneel, it's going to go out of business. Oh, my God. We're going to boycott. Kenny Stills took a knee multiple times. I think the Dolphins are still worth a lot of money. And Jerry Jones talking about how, oh, I suspend any player that takes a knee. Okay. Bunch of players protested. Guess what? NFL did great. NFL's still doing great. The reason that Super Bowl sucked for the most part was because, well, it was based on the NFL's crappy officiating and the lack of integrity in the game, screwing the Saints out of a Super Bowl berth and probably a Super Bowl trophy. Sorry, Drew Brees. That's the deal. But all this talk about, oh, we're not going to watch anymore. Oh, it's the same thing at Nike. Oh, we're going to burn our Nike merchandise that we already paid for. Oh, look at us. We're so rebellious. Oh, my God. Guess what? Nike still made money hand over fist. The reality is, whether you agree with certain aspects of the protest or certain aspects of a person or not, the reality is the dude's heart was in the right place. Eric Reid's heart was in the right place, and they put their own money and time into their respective communities, and that needs to be commended. And if you still don't like them, who cares? Guess what? You want to boycott? Go boycott. You're probably still going to be watching some football. And if not, your friends are. Whether they're Republican, whether they're Democrat, whether they're Libertarian, or Pescatarian, or Vegetarian, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, if you love football like I do, you're going to watch it. If you love basketball like I do, you're going to watch it. And at the end of the day, that's life. You're going to have people from different walks of life having to work together, having to coexist, having to be tolerant, and that's cool. That's fine. Hey, the guy that just gave me my P.O. box today had a Blue Lives Matter wristband on. Whatever. It is what it is. That's the world we live in, and I'm tired of this whole thing of like, you're so divided and this and that and all this crap. Sports, at its best, is not just a great spectator entertainment. It is a unifier of people. And you don't think some of these people in these locker rooms, these athletes, okay, have different politics from their owner? Actually, I hate to say owner. The owner of the team. Nobody owns them. You don't think that, some linemen might have different views than their quarterback, or the cornerback might have different views than the safety. Okay? At the end of the day, it's about coexisting. And I'm just so happy that we can move on from this bullshit narrative of Colin doesn't want to play, black guy for the league. Stop. And let's get back to watching football. Let's get back to enjoying football. Let's get back to stop worrying about who you voted for and worrying about what's happening on the field. Now, this is step one for the NFL. This is step one for the NFL. Now, step two, here's what step two is. Working on the integrity of the game. I'm assuming this is also partially NFL's chance to rectify things off the field, making it look like, hey, we're progressive, even though they're really not. Now, it's a matter of getting your officiating straight. Because if you don't, well, there's a league called the XFL that will in 2020. And that's not to say the XFL will compete with the NFL. It's going to be running at different times, but you never know. There's going to be some time. There's going to be a point in time where if the NFL doesn't get its act together overall, but especially with the product on the field with the officiating, that people are going to say, F this. Kind of like they did with the Super Bowl. Still did great, but 10-year low. I wonder why. But folks, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this Colin Kaepernick deal? Do you think he's going to be back in the league? Do you think he really needs to be back in the league at this point after this settlement, the Nike money, and all the amazing community work he's doing? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us. Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe. And hey, at the end of the day, folks, we all love football. Hope we all coexist. And let's just try to be a little respectful. As always, enjoy the games.